Hello everyone, I'm now past 60 and for more than 3 decades I've worked as a Stoic motivation specialist walking alongside people in the second half of life. I've realised there's one thing almost everyone goes through: being hurt by someone. It could be a harsh word from a loved one, a betrayal by a friend, or simply being looked down on by a colleague. And the question they often whisper to me is, "Dear Stoic motivation expert, how do I give them back what they did to me?" I smile, look them in the eye and say, sometimes what destroys them isn't revenge, it's your indifference. Have you ever felt that way? When someone hurts you, they don't just want to see you suffer. They also want to see you react with anger, irritation, or even despair. They want to watch you stumble, to see you pour your energy into an endless fight. But there is a quieter, more powerful response than any counterattack live, as if they never existed. I remember someone named Linda, now 68. Linda was betrayed by her closest friend over money. She told me that at first she was furious, lost sleep, and spent her days planning confrontations and lawsuits. But one day she sat down, took a deep breath, and asked herself, do I really want to spend the rest of my life on this anger? The answer was no. She chose silence. She stopped saying that person's name, stopped plotting payback, stopped justifying or explaining. She returned to tending her little backyard garden, spent time with her grandchild, and walked every morning. You know what? That calm became the deepest torment for the former friend. They tried to reach out, but Linda only smiled from a distance. I want you to imagine this: someone shoves you to the ground. They expect you to thrash, to snap back, to scream, but you don't. You stand up, brush off the dust, and walk away as if nothing happened. Their blow becomes meaningless. You don't need to strike back because their strike never touched your soul. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike the one who harmed you. You don't have to be like them or sink to their level. Silence and composure are a declaration: I am still free. I am still in charge of my life. I know this isn't easy. Especially after 50, when you carry old wounds. A careless remark from family can poke at childhood memories. A betrayal can make life itself feel like a betrayal. But in this season of life, you hold a precious gift time. You understand every remaining minute is gold not to be wasted on resentment." Modern psychology shows that when we cling to anger, the body releases more cortisol, a stress hormone. Prolonged cortisol can raise blood pressure, strain the heart, disrupt sleep, and even accelerate aging. Meanwhile, those who can let go, keep quiet, and remain serene tend to have stronger immunity and clearer minds. That's not just Stoic philosophy, it's also medical science. A man in his 50s once told me, "Doctor, I can't forgive my brother. He stole my chance." I asked, "How many years have you carried this anger?" He bowed his head. "More than 20 years. 20 years, do you feel how heavy that is? 20 years living in the chains of one wound." Then I asked, "Do you want to let your brother control your mood and health for another 20 years? He fell silent. You see, silence isn't weakness. On the contrary, it requires tremendous inner strength. When you choose not to react, you are telling the world, you no longer have power over me. That calm is the sharpest sting to those who wish to see you fall. Think of someone who once hurt you. Now imagine that instead of arguing or nursing the grudge, you smile, turn away and spend that time on what nourishes you: a family meal, a sunrise, a favourite page of a book. Do you feel freer? Stoicism teaches us you have power over your mind, not over other people's actions. That means you can't stop someone from insulting you, but you can choose not to let their words touch your heart. And the older and wiser you become, the clearer it is there's no revenge sweeter than living happily and peacefully, letting the other person sit with their own mistakes. A friend of mine, also over 60, once said, "I've learnt that silence can be louder than any argument. It echoes in the other person's mind day after day." Exactly. Your absence, your serenity becomes the heaviest presence in their heart. So I invite you to reflect. Is there someone in your life who has hurt you so deeply that you believe you can never forgive them? Are you ready to let go, to move on, and to let your peace be the answer? You know, I've seen hundreds of patients come to me in despair, not because of an illness of the body, but because of an illness of the soul. And that illness has a name: overreacting to pain. A woman in her 50s once told me, "Doctor, I feel like a puppet." One sentence from him can ruin my entire day. One contemptuous look from her feels like a knife to my heart. I looked at her and said, "The issue isn't in that sentence or that look. The issue is that you've handed them the keys to your inner life." This is the very core of what Stoic philosophy has taught for thousands of years. It's not what happens that hurts you, but how you respond to it. Epictetus said that. And modern science shows that when you can regulate your response, you can regulate your health and even your longevity. I want you to imagine this: someone insults you, they hope you will react, argue back and lose your composure. But instead of blowing up, you offer a faint smile, turn away, and keep working as if nothing happened. Do you see it? In that moment, the balance of power shifts. The one who thought they were in control suddenly realizes they're powerless. Your indifference, your silence becomes the mirror that reflects their failure. A 62-year-old male patient of mine once went through a public humiliation by a relative. He said, "In the past, I would have argued right back, but this time I quietly stood up and walked away." A few days later, he came looking for me, awkward, wanting to apologise. See? When you refuse to play their game, they lose both the audience and the script. And when the curtain falls, they're the ones left embarrassed. Here's another truth I want to underscore: the person who hurts you often craves being important in your life. Behind every insult and every betrayal lies a hidden desire: I matter to you. The most fitting punishment isn't shouting or lawsuits, it's denying them that importance. Have you ever been betrayed by a friend and then noticed how they watch to see your reaction? When you don't react, don't explain, don't confront, that emptiness becomes torture for them. They want tears, drama, a fight, but all they get is silence. And that silence weighs more than any accusation. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy." I love this line because it speaks to those of us in our 50s, 60s, even 70s. At this stage of life, we don't have time to waste on meaningless battles. We've crossed the midpoint, and what's most precious isn't winning or losing, it's peace in each day. I often tell my patients, let your success, your peace, and your smile be the answer. When others expect you to collapse, but you stand steadier, happier, healthier, that is the deepest humiliation to their ego. You don't need to say a word. Your presence, your joy proves they failed. Another story: John, a veteran I once worked with, was slandered for years by a former teammate. At first he was bitter and tried to prove the truth. The harder he tried, the more he felt dragged into the mud. Later, John learnt this: if he focused on living training, loving his family, serving his community, he became stronger and earned the respect of everyone around him. Ironically, the slanderer's name became one no one cared to mention. See, sometimes the greatest victory is the one you win by never joining the fight. And there's an invisible weapon few people consider: contempt. It sounds harsh, but I don't mean hatred. I mean treating them as if they never existed in your story. Anger is still a bond. Hatred is still an attachment. When you regard them as a stranger, when you erase their name from your memory, you take away what they fear most: being forgotten. Epictetus said evil shouldn't be met with shouting, but with silence. That silence is the shield that protects your soul. Here's one more thing I often remind people: over 50, self-mastery is the highest form of power. When someone hurts you, they're testing whether you still hold the controls. If you explode, you hand those controls to them. If you stay calm, smile and remain silent, you prove the power is yours. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That means you can't stop someone from insulting you, but you can keep them from touching your heart. And I believe that at this age, after so many storms, you can more clearly see that real strength lives in stillness. Dear friend, we've come a long way together in today's conversation. And if there's one thing I want you to keep in your heart, it's this: your silence, your calm is your strongest weapon. When you don't strike back, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're mature. It means you know the years you have left are too precious to waste on anger. Remember, a peaceful heart can heal better than any medicine. Science has shown that people who stay calm and forgive tend to have steadier blood pressure, deeper sleep, and longer lives. And ironically, your serenity becomes the nightmare of those who once wished you pain. I want you to ask yourself, am I letting someone else control my emotions? Am I living in the chains of the past or walking freely in the present? What legacy do I want to leave my children and grandchildren? A heart full of anger or a calm and clear mind? An elderly patient once told me, "Doctor, I've realised that whenever I hold a grudge, I'm the one who suffers the most, and often they've forgotten about me long ago. Exactly, resentment is a self-imposed prison. Silence and composure are the keys that open the door to freedom." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Time flows like a river." If you are patient enough, in the end, you will see the body of your enemy float by. He wasn't encouraging revenge, he was reminding us to let time do its work. You don't have to do anything. And here is my final message to you, especially if you're in your 50s, 60s or 70s. Don't seek revenge. Don't spend your strength trying to prove yourself. Live well, live healthy, live happily. That happiness will be the most beautiful answer, the lasting victory. If today's message touched your heart, I invite you to leave one word in the comments: overcoming. Because only when you overcome do you truly win. And before you go, please like and subscribe to this channel. Not so I can add another number, but so you have a place to return to where you can find peace, Stoic lessons and the companionship of an old friend like me. See you in the next videos. Remember, silence isn't a void, it's strength, it's freedom, and sometimes it's the most resounding answer you can offer life. Dear friend, before we truly wrap up, I want to sit with you for a few more minutes. I understand not everyone can step past pain with just a few words of advice. I've seen people take many years, even a lifetime, to learn how to let go. And that's perfectly normal. A 70-year-old man once confided in me. All my life, Stoic motivation. I've remembered the moment my father scolded me as a child. Every time someone insults me, that memory comes alive. He carried that wound for decades. One day he realised if my father were alive, he probably wouldn't even remember it. But I've kept myself imprisoned in that memory for far too long. The day he chose to forgive, he wept like a child, and for the first time in years he slept peacefully. Do you see? Sometimes the one who hurt you doesn't even remember what they did, but you keep holding on and end up hurting yourself even more. Imagine this: you're walking through a park on an autumn afternoon, golden leaves on the path. Suddenly, someone throws a small stone at you. You have two choices: turn back, pick up the stone, throw it back, and turn beautiful afternoon into a petty skirmish. Or smile, Keep walking, let the stone fall behind, and continue under the peaceful autumn sky. Which would you choose? At this age, I've learned not everything needs an answer. Not everyone deserves a debate. Some people pass through your life simply to test your steadiness. The greatest gift you can give yourself is not letting them take your peace. Ask yourself, when my eyes finally close, do I want the last feeling in my heart to be anger or serenity, and one last reminder as a personal commitment tomorrow? If someone hurts you, pause for a few seconds, take a deep breath. Tell yourself, I am the master of this mind. I choose silence. I choose peace. If you can do that, you've taken a big step on the Stoic path, the path of maturity, freedom, and true happiness. If these words resonate, share this video with a close friend. Maybe they need to hear it right now. And don't forget to comment the keyword peace, so I know you're still here with me until the very last moments. See you in the next videos. Remember, silence is not avoidance. It's the wisest choice for a mature soul. Dear friend, I know you may be wondering by now, this sounds great, but how do I actually apply it? If I stay silent, does that make me weak? What if they keep hurting me? Let me share with you, as a physician and an old friend who has seen many such stories. First question, if I choose silence, does that make me weak? The answer is no. Silence isn't cowardice. Silence is a mature choice. It's like standing before a child throwing a tantrum. Do you need to scream back, or can you smile, knowing the storm will pass? Real strength lies in controlling your response, not in shouting louder. The wise don't waste breath on pointless fights. Second question, what if they keep hurting me? Should I respond? This is hard, and I'll be honest, sometimes you must act to protect yourself, especially in cases of physical abuse or serious harm. In those situations, silence isn't the solution. You need the law and support from your community. But in most cases, I see words disrespect, betrayal, silence, and walking away are more powerful than any reaction. Remember, silence does not equal permission. It means refusing to be dragged into the spiral. Third question, I've carried this resentment for years. How do I let go? I once treated a 65-year-old woman who resented her late husband for over 20 years. Every mention brought her to tears. One day I asked, if he were alive, would you spend another 20 years hating him? She fell silent, then cried. Sometimes letting go isn't forgiving the other person, it's forgiving yourself so you no longer imprison your own heart. Final question, how do I know I've truly moved on? You'll know when you can mention them without trembling with anger. When one day you remember and your heart stays calm. When your attention rests more on the present than the past. That's when your silence has blossomed into peace. Dear friend, Stoicism teaches a simple, profound truth. Distinguish what is within your control from what is not. You can't control others' words and action, but you can control your heart and mind. When you do, you're no longer a victim, you're free. So if you still have doubts, try this today. When someone upsets you, don't react right away. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this person worth losing my peace over? The answer is almost always no. If this Q&A helped you share it with someone close, they may need this reminder on their journey. And don't forget to comment with the keyword freedom to do. True freedom isn't out there, it's in your ability to govern yourself. Dear friend, philosophy is wonderful, but if you just listen and leave it there, it's like a passing breeze. What matters is bringing it into your life day by day, hour by hour. To wrap up today, I want to leave you a few simple practical exercises, things I often give to my patients and students. Exercise 1, silent breathing practice. Tomorrow, when someone upsets you, maybe a careless remark or a disrespectful act, instead of reacting immediately, pause. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, then exhale slowly for 6 seconds. In that moment, remind yourself, I am in charge of my response. One breath can save you from an argument and protect your peace for the entire day. Exercise 2. The Silence Journal. Each evening, sit down with a notebook and write 3 things that irritated you that day. Next to each one, write, is this worth losing my peace over? Most of the time you'll smile when you see the answer is no. Writing it out not only releases tension, but trains your mind to distinguish what truly matters from what can be let go. Exercise 3. Disappear into silence. There's a technique I call a mental timeout. When someone intentionally provokes you, instead of confronting them quietly, step away for a while. No announcement, no explanation, just leave, take a short walk, listen to some music, or sit in meditation for a few minutes. You'll see that your absence is the strongest reply. When you return, you'll be calmer, and the other person will feel off balance because they didn't get what they wanted. Exercise 4. Let success be the answer. Every day, give at least 30 minutes to something that nourishes you. Walking, reading, learning a new skill, or time with family. Those who want to see you fall will hurt most when they see you continue to grow, live well, and smile. This is not only Stoic philosophy, it's also therapy, turning pain into fuel to become a better version of yourself. See, nothing grand is required. Just a few minutes each day can turn philosophy into reality. Try one of these 4 exercises tonight, and if you do, leave a comment and tell me which one you chose. Remember, knowledge only has value when it becomes action. And when you truly practice it, silence becomes a durable strength that stays with you for life. Dear friend, I want to end today's conversation with a small story, one I heard long ago, yet every time I recall it, it feels new. Once upon a time, there was a wise sage who lived in the mountains. One day, someone came to him and hurled bitter words at his face. You are a fraud, a useless life unworthy of respect. People expected him to get angry, to defend himself, to react. But he simply smiled. When the man saw he had failed, he asked, why do you not answer? Do you not see that I am insulting you? The sage spoke slowly. If someone brings you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong? The man fell silent. The sage continued. Exactly. The bitter words you brought today, I do not accept them. They remain yours. Keep my peace. Do you see? That is the art of silence. It is not that you do not see or hear, but that you choose not to receive. And when you do not receive, they cannot touch you. I share this story with many of my older patients. After hearing it, a 72-year-old woman smiled and said, so I have accepted too many toxic gifts all my life. It is time I learnt to give them back. Perhaps you too have accepted such gifts, insults and hurtful actions, but starting today you can choose not to accept them anymore. Marcus Aurelius once said, you have the power of choice. No one can force you to think what you do not want. That power of choice, the choice not to accept the choice of silence, is the key to inner freedom. So next time someone throws heavy words at you, remember the story of the gift. Smile and say to yourself, I do not accept. I keep my peace. If you find this story meaningful, share it with someone you love. They may need this reminder today. And do not forget to leave a comment with the keyword gift, so we can remind one another that some gifts are not worth accepting. Dear friend, before we say goodbye today, I want to take a few moments to offer you a blessing, not as an expert, not as a physician, but as an old friend who has lived many years and understands the wounds of life. I know each of us carries our own pain. At 50, 60, or 70, we have all been betrayed, hurt, and have lost a part of our trust. The wonderful truth is that you are still here, still breathing, still with the chance to turn the rest of your life into a peaceful and meaningful journey. I wish that each morning when you wake up, you find a reason to smile. It might be birdsong at the window, a warm cup of tea on the table, or simply the gratitude that you have one more day to live. I wish you the strength to refuse toxic gifts from others and the wisdom to keep only what keeps your soul clear. I wish you the health to enjoy the small things, a quiet walk, a family meal, a hug from a grandchild. In the end, these simple things are our most precious treasure. Above all, I wish you peace. Peace in every breath, in every night of sleep, in every remaining moment, because peace is the greatest victory in life. If this video gave you something today, please leave a comment with the keyword peaceful bin on. It is a small commitment that you choose peace, you choose silence, and you choose to live the rest of your life with a tranquil heart. Thank you for staying until the end. See you in the next video. And remember, peace is not avoidance. It is an art of living, and you deserve it. Dear friend, there is one thing I want to remind you of before we part today. Life is short. At 60, I understand more than ever that we do not have much time to waste. Every moment spent in anger is a moment stolen from our chance to enjoy peace. Look back for a moment. How many times in your life have you wasted time on meaningless arguments? How many sleepless nights over one harsh remark? And after all these years, you realize the person who hurt you may have forgotten, but you are still holding the wound. Stoic philosophy teaches us something very simple. Live as if today were your last day. If today were your last, would you spend it being angry or loving, smiling and breathing in peace? Remember, silence is not meant to hurt others. Silence is how you keep your dignity and your inner calm. It is a gift you give to your own soul, not to your enemy. A man in his 50s once told me, "Doctor, I do not want to defeat anyone anymore. I only want to defeat myself." I nodded because the greatest victory in life is not bringing someone down, but mastering the anger inside your own heart. So when you leave this video, I hope you tell yourself, I choose peace. I choose not to react. I choose silence as strength. And if you can do that, you will find the rest of your life becomes much lighter. Thank you for walking this journey with me. I believe you will step back into the world with a steadier heart, a freer spirit, and a life that is truly worthy of you. Dear friend, if what I shared today touched your heart, I have a small invitation for you. Please hit the subscribe button on this channel, not because I need another number, but because I want the chance to walk with you more often so that each week you have a small quiet moment, a stoic reminder, a ray of light for your soul. And if you know someone, a friend or a family member who is carrying anger or pain, please share this video with them. Sometimes a single small idea can change the way they see life. I also hope you will leave a comment, even just one word. It could be peace bin on, it could be overcoming, quoi, or simply a hearts. Those small words are a sign that you are here with me on this journey. We do not have much time to waste, but we still have enough time to learn how to live calmly, steadily, and happily. And I believe that you can begin today. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video. And remember, sometimes silence is the most resounding sound of a strong spirit. Dear friend, at this point you may feel we have said enough about silence, about not seeking revenge, about keeping our peace. But I want to take one more step with you into a deeper question. Why do we need to learn this in our later years? When we are young, we can react, we can fight, we can spend whole nights arguing just to prove we are right. But as we enter our 50s, 60s, and 70s, we realise something simple. The most precious thing is no longer winning or losing, it is time. Time to be with family, time to drink a warm cup of tea and feel your heart grow lighter, time to watch a grandchild smile and hear the laughter of old friends. And you will not want to waste those moments on resentment or anger anymore. I remember a 75-year-old patient who told me, "All my life, doctor, I chased justice. I argued with my brothers, went to court with neighbours, fought at work. But at this age, I realise justice can win, yet the heart can remain tired." He sighed, then held my hand. I wish I had learned earlier that peace matters more than justice. His words have stayed with me to this day. I share them with you as a gift. You see, silence is not only an answer to those who hurt you, it is also a gift you give yourself so your heart can stop straining and the rest of your life can feel lighter. Even more, it is a gift you give to the next generation. When your children and grandchildren see you calm and steady, not angry over small things, they learn this grandpa and grandma chose peace. I can choose it too. You are not living only for yourself, you are planting seeds for those who come after you. So for the rest of your life, turn silence into a legacy that does not need to be written in a will or carved on a headstone, yet will live on in the memories of those who love you. If you agree that peace is the most precious legacy you can leave, write the keyword legacy D sound in the comments. It is a commitment not only to yourself, but also to the next generation. Let your silence and your composure become a guiding light for those you leave behind. Dear friend, perhaps in life you and I have both been hurt. A cutting word, a betrayal, a contemptuous glance. In those moments, our natural impulse is to strike back to seek revenge, to prove ourselves. But after more than 60 years on this earth, I have learned this: the thing that undoes the one who hurt us is not revenge, but our indifference and our peace. Do you see it? When you are silent, when you do not react, you take away their greatest weapon. They expect your anger, your collapse. Instead, you stand up, brush off the dust, and walk on as if nothing happened. In that instant, the balance of power shifts. Stoicism teaches us it is not what happens that determines your fate, but how you respond. Modern science confirms this too. When you stay calm, stress hormones fall. The body grows healthier and lifespan increases. Peace is not only philosophy, it is medicine. I have met patients who carried resentment for decades. And you know, the one who suffers most is not the person who hurt them, but themselves. Resentment is an invisible prison. Silence and letting go are the keys that open the door to freedom. Imagine someone throws you a toxic gift, an insult, a vile act. If you accept it, you press trash against your heart. If you refuse it, the gift still belongs to them. You keep your inner cleanliness for yourself. Silence, indifference, and well-timed disregard are not weakness. They are the highest strength of a mature person. They send the message, you no longer have any power over me. For those who wanted to see you fall, that is a harder blow than any rebuttal. Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. You do not need to become them. You do not need to sink to their level. Just live well, live healthy, live happily. Your smile and your success are the answer. So how do we turn philosophy into practice? Very simple. Begin with your breath when someone upsets you. Pause, breathe deeply and whisper, I'm in charge of my response. Keep an evening journal and ask yourself, is this worth losing my peace over? And each day give at least 30 minutes to joy and health, because your success is the most beautiful reply. Dear friend, at this age I know more than ever, the greatest legacy we can leave is not money, but peace. When your grandchildren see you composed, quiet, and unshaken by small things, they learn, my grandparents chose peace. I can choose it too. That is the seed you plant for the next generation. That is a living legacy. So I hope you leave this video with a small vow in your heart. I choose peace. I choose silence. I choose to live the rest of my life as a gift to myself and to those who come after me. If today's message touched you, leave a comment, even a single word, peace or legacy. It will be a sign that you are walking this Stoic path with me and with this community. And if you wanted to keep journeying together, hit subscribe, not to give me another number, but to give yourself an old friend who keeps reminding you, choose peace, choose freedom. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video. And remember, sometimes silence is the most resounding voice in a human life. Dear friend, before we truly say goodbye, I want to leave you with 3 Stoic quotes that I believe, if you remember them, will help you move through the rest of life much more lightly. First quote, Epictetus. It is not events that make you suffer, but how you interpret them. This means you cannot change the past, nor can you control other people, but you can choose your response. When you change your perspective, the pain loses its power. Second quote, Marcus Aurelius. The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. When someone hurts you, the impulse to strike back is natural, but if you sink to their level, you lose yourself. The most beautiful answer is to live differently, peacefully, kindly, and with strength. Third quote, Seneca. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. At our age, perhaps you have lost sleep many nights from worry, imagining the worst. But in the morning, you realise none of it happened. Remember, this worry is a shadow, not the truth. I often write these 3 quotes on a small piece of paper and give them to my patients after a session. One elderly lady told me every morning I read them and I feel my heart grow lighter. You might try it too. So today, I invite you to choose one of these 3 quotes. Write it down, stick it on your desk, keep it in your wallet, or place it by your bed. Whenever anger rises, read it again. Let it be your compass back to peace. If you agree, leave a comment with the quote you choose. For example, I choose Marcus Aurelius, or Seneca's quote speaks to me most. Together we will build a peaceful community and keep reminding one another. Dear friend, I believe that after listening to the previous sections, you understand one thing. Silence, peace, and self-mastery are not just philosophical ideas. They need to become a way of living, a habit, a daily rhythm of breath. How do we make sure this is not just theory? I want to share a few ways that many of my older patients and students have successfully applied. First, start with small situations. At the market, someone may cut in line or say something unkind. Instead of reacting, smile and let them go ahead. You are training your peace muscle. Like exercise, the more you practice, the stronger it gets. Second, choose a daily ritual of silence. Some choose 10 minutes of morning meditation. Some choose to turn off the phone for 1 hour in the evening. Some choose a solitary walk in the park. These are moments to remember you control your mind, not anyone else. Third pass, silence onto others. When your children and grandchildren see you not getting angry and not reacting to unfairness, they will learn by example. You are not only changing your own life, you are planting seeds for the next generation. A child raised with calm and steady grandparents will naturally learn peace. Fourth pair, silence with joy. Many people fear silence, thinking it is emptiness, but silence can travel with birdsong, with a smile, with the sunset. Let silence become the backdrop for your simple joys. You see, Stoic philosophy is not distant, it is everyday life. It is choosing not to argue when you are criticised. It is sitting with tea, breathing deeply and feeling free. It is smiling when someone tries to provoke you because you know, I govern my mind. I want you to try one thing today. When this video ends, turn off the screen, sit still for 2 minutes, do nothing, say nothing, just breathe and feel. Then ask yourself, how can I carry this peace into tomorrow? Do this and you will see that change begins with the smallest things.